Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Saba boy, Saba yoga. Frank Louis Bamondi, on va pas où elle est. Le vocal non est si abordé. Mais nous n'y voulons pas. Si nous le querons, on va pas se faire comme mon père. Je vais chabler la sauce. Bonne Joja, bonne comme un way. Le vocal n'est Joja sien, comme un way. Elle ne sait pas la trouver sous la nous n'y voulons. Pas on y va sur un mon sous ta mon père. Oni wa so e mono so la mu be o klo ani abie sogo abaira onu peju sianu e la chawe sianu e bo bia we na ye gbere klalu e se dre yan kon wo na mo ba ko we de mo wa ko isi aboble la tu wo so anu ni we la ibo mo so wa ke no ko di fo awe mo na da fi o so we ye ta mo bien do mo igbe o so wa jeje o mama ko ne ko na we anu se boble la tu wo so anu ni we la Ojo si awe pa yan kun wa nu trouble de. Jamu ni pote wa o lo yan. Tutu pote wa o. Onu lo yan ju e. Popo we de mo o. Bona se bo le la tu o so we nu ni we la. Wala nyo ma ko ma si mu e ma ko ri ma ju so la le ma yan we. Mo je de la yan ba o. Mo so yan yo. Mo je dia ma yan ba e. Na mo wa uru o. Che ada nyongba na mo so ina yo la juru awa o ya luigi pote wa o la nyoma jago mu luigi pote wa o atati pote wa o ala nyoma kwa we de mo ona te go le la tu wa so we nu ni we la nígbà so en so go ta mu fe o to di ke fe ma de so wi be lo Bébé Carré, laissez à ce que tu sois le bandit. La fino. Assez Idawe Ma. Et Bérodi. Yala, Stéphanie. C'est de Côte d'Ivoire. Moi, ouais. Mon bon corps est de loin. On est pour la tour, on n'y ouais. Et la divason, on l'a eu tout à mon père. Yamon le pote à eau. We dem salu wa kon ye nyamu o je blo yanju we ba ka Nigeria oda je nyongbo ye mono Nigeria oda we akon ye nyamu mo mo ko we dem so we wa kon ye nyamu o lo abel ke odo joseke wa no blo yande
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
So, le Diboussou, Chabot Yanta, le Saba Boy, Saba Yoke. Le Clément Mba m'ont dit, on va pas où est le loin. Le Bocol non est si à Bobé, le nous n'y voit la fille de l'équerre, pour avoir son école comme mon père. Je suis Chabot dans son eau. Bonne Joja, bonne comme Naïwe, il y a que moi, c'est un loin. Le Bocol n'est Joja, c'est un comme Naïwe. Elle ne sait pas la trouver sous la nous n'y voit la. Pas ni pas son mon sous ta mon père, oh, moi, dewa. La Luki, pas ni pas son mon sous ta mon père, oh, clo. Ane ablie sogo abaira, konu kwedu sialuwe, na chiawe sialuwe, bobia wena. Debere klaluwe, sedre nyokonwo, na mabako wede. Wako isi aboble la tuwa suwa nuni wele. Ipo mosu wake no kwa difwa we mwana defino sonwe ye. Kamo bien do mo igwe o. One joja o. Tuwa nuni wele. Mojo siawe pa nyokon wa nu trouble de. Jamuni pote wa o loyon. Tutu pote wa o. Onu loyon duwe. Papa we de mo. Bona se bole la tuwa so we nu ni wele. Wala nyoma komasi muwe mwa gori manju sura ne manyowe. Onje tela nyoma o. Onje tia manyoma namo wa uruwo. Onje che ada nyoma namo so inayo. Wala nyuru. Ya lugi pote wa o. Wala nyoma jago muwe lugi pote wa o. Atati pote wa o. Ola nyoma kwa wede mo. Ona te bole la tuwa zuwe nuni wele. Ningwa son sogo ta mu fe o. Toti kefen. Made. Sorry belo. Bébé Kari. Laisse à ce que tu sois le bandi. La fino. Ase Idawe ma. Ebeodi. Yala Stéphanie. C'est de Côte d'Ivoire. Moi, ouais. Mon bon corps est de loin. On est de pour la tour, on n'y voit pas. La division est l'oyon sous ta mon père. Yamon le pote là, Péri du sous pote là. Libre ya bouille sogo, il va indi. Mon corps est de loin. Moi, comment est Namuo? Mon corps est de loin, ça nous va comment est Namuo? L'oyon du web back and Nigeria. The young boy, Mono Nigeria. We are going to Mambo Kawe, the Masu, we are going to
Je rappelle que non, je sais que one of l'oyon day. Je suis et Chablo, le filo de Kela. Le métan est pour day. Mon doudou est mon popo yabi. De Rosette ne.
Abiga mwe
Ah, Julitea. Papa Morel.
Good evening, folks. Samson told I brought up the radio. We're here again tonight to do what we have to do here. We're sitting in for Mr. Soul tonight, who is on an assignment, and he won't be able to join us tonight. But we'll do our best. We want to welcome all of you again. Safety, Lord Jesus, as we come before you tonight. We ask that our brothers and sisters that are unable to be with us tonight, give them strength. Our brothers and sisters that are unable to be whole tonight, provide whole situation for them. My Lord, we ask that for those brothers and sisters that are in pain tonight, please be the pain reliever tonight. You are, and you will be. And we ask and believe that you will do that. So we say thank you. My Lord, as we come before you again tonight, we say thank you. We ask that the Republic of Liberia be blessed, that the people of the Republic of Liberia be blessed, that the President of the Republic of Liberia be blessed. Whatever he touches in the interest of the Liberian people, my Lord, that his hand be blessed. Whichever door he lacks in the interest of the Liberian people, yes, indeed, my Lord, that the door be opened by you. We want to thank you for that. We want to thank you for everything you do and you have done for us and continue to do. We ask that the president's life be extended. We ask that every one of us life be extended, my Lord. Because without you, we're nowhere. Without you, we cannot see. Because of you, we're able to see. We want to thank you. We want to thank you. My Lord, as we come out again, we say we pray and we ask that the United States of America, the host country of the U.S., be blessed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Again, folks, Samson told Labra Pabrito, I want to thank all of you again tonight for tuning in. We ask that you please share this video here, share it to as many people as possible. I think I already have somebody in the back here. But let me go on the topic that I'm going to be starting with tonight. Let's do this here.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
President Bakai speaking on Mose. If you're listening, if you're ready to be brought on, put your thumb up and we'll bring you on. So let us know when you're ready. We'll bring you on, but he's not quite ready yet. So let's go ahead. I'm laying the groundwork here tonight of corruption. Now, corruption in itself, it is not the end of the world. Corruption in itself is not the end of a society. However, if corruption, I believe, is something that is persuasive, if something that is so pervasive that people everywhere are involved, nobody can put fire on the soup on the fire unless they join the corruption gang. Then it becomes a problem. And this is what I believe we're having in Liberia. Corruption for us and for me specifically in Liberia, that I know of, things that I know, it's been going on for a very long time. Why you think you have that society house over there in Mama Point? That corruption house. Why you think you have all the party members running around that corruption party member? However, we have, for me, I believe, mostly when you're ready, just oh, you're not ready. Your things shaking all over the place. I mean, you're not ready. You're not ready yet. Okay. For me, corruption, when it start hitting people pocketbook, when it start because of the behavior of corrupt behavior, people start dying needlessly, which we have in Liberia. Then it becomes issue. Then we need to talk about it. So quite recently, President Bakar administration, through the access recovery thing, they have engaged fellow Liberians. And I call it engagement process. You can say, well, they send them to jail and things like that. I don't believe that should have been done. I think those people, because what happened here is like purposely want to disgrace people, and that's not what it's supposed to be. Because these people that you are accusing, those that are being accused of stealing, whatever accusation is out there, this process could be used to vindicate them as well. It is not necessarily to find them guilty, but you must do it so that those that are being accused will understand that your purpose is to have a clear playing field, that it is transparent, that you're not witch hunting, that you're not going after them because of their position, previous position, whatever. If you do that, Liberian will believe in you, and when they believe in you, your work will be strong. But when you start going after people, what was the purpose of throwing them in jail? What was the purpose? I really don't see it. What was the purpose? These people are not flight breaks. Where Madam Sawyer, the widow of Edmund Sawyer, where are you going to run to go? Go to Ghana? To go stay in Ghana? She's not 20 some odd year old. Where she will go? Where Mary Brown will go? But Mary Brown and Australia are coming to that later on. And they said the broke former president Sally place to go arrest her. And then they're doing their medical tests and things like. I will deal with that one later on. Double, I'm coming for you tonight. Double, I'm coming for you tonight. But let me go on. Moses, when you're ready, throw your thumb up. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining, Moses. So, what was the purpose of throwing those people in jail? I don't agree with that. Mostly, if you're going to be flipping up and down here, you're doing somersaulting, coming to put you in the back. Yeah, because you got my audience right now. The way I saw you flipping at that myself, I'm drunk now. But anyway, let me go on. So, what was the purpose? The investigation that you're doing is a wonderful thing you guys are doing. Make those who are being charged, or even if they're going to be charged, make them to be part of the process. Because your intent, which I hope it is for them to have the opportunity to vindicate themselves. That whatever it is that people are accusing them of, they are not guilty of it. But that can only be done through transparency. You can't throw people in jail willy-nilly. And then the people say, look at the minister coming back and said that witch hunt. He come and wrap that whole thing around witch hunt. And then your investigative process, Liberian. Once you get on that thing, bear welcome, wish on back, then all of the good things that you're trying to do to show to Liberians that impurity is no longer in place with your government. That the business as usual is no longer in place with your government. That anybody who dare take the people money will be accounted for, will be asked what happened, which is good. But you must get the Liberian people on board with you. Don't be coming across as being vindictive. CDC and these people that you're accusing, they will continue to say these kinds of words. But how you carry yourself, how you present yourself in this process will make the Liberian people to come on board with you. Throwing Mary Bro and Madam Sawyer in jail, what did you achieve? What did you achieve? Nothing but sympathy for them now. That you throwing old lady there in jail? That the first thing Liberian people will start thinking, Liberians are always sympathetic people. You should know that, President Wakai. Those days when we were growing up in Monrovia, when there's a fight down water side, you're going to see who fighting. If somebody, big man, come and take some of these small children and take a boy, the boy is selling, he take it, he say he want to pay. People will fight that man to go pay the boy 15 cents. Whether they know the boy, they know, it doesn't matter. Liberians have always been sympathetic to each other until the war. You cannot assume that because of the war, that type of behavior has been eroded. Nobody care for each other anymore. And so when you throw old lady there in jail, nobody will care. You don't do that. What did you achieve? What did you achieve? They go to jail, they come out of jail, people clapping for them. What did you achieve? Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, common thief like me, Samson told, if I see you, throw me in jail. That's fine. But these people have followers. And their follower will turn your action into something else. And now you're going to have to explain yourself. The good thing that you're trying to do for the Republic of Liberia, many people will turn that against you because you never brought people on board with you. So I say here again tonight, corruption is bad. And we must do everything possible to fight it. And President Baka and his people are fighting it. But how do you fight it? It's the most important thing. How do you deal with it? It's the most important thing. End result counts. People are saying, look at those cases you have now. Why you just pick up the high profile cases and throw people in jail right away like that? Let me bring in Moses. Moses, good evening. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. I'm sitting in tonight for Mr. Soul, who is not able to join us tonight. He's on assignment, and hopefully we'll be here on Sunday. But let's hear from you, my brother. Thank you for joining. What's on your mind? You can talk for another Judgment Day. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Good evening. Good evening.
Thank you.
Emperor himself. And I am excited but also concerned, and that's why I'm on the show tonight. Now that I'm now on the show other days, it's good to be here. And to the fellow listener, thanks for turning into us. And we're going to have a discord tonight on some of these issues that Mr. Soul just highlighted. Mr. Soul, the first thing we need to know, am I low?
Mr. Toe. Now
Mr.
that's so sitting before you. That toe
Mr.
sitting
Toe.
before you.
I'm Mr. Toe.
No,
Something.
you said so. If I hear so near again, I put you in the bike, I pack you straight. I'm tonight, partner. I'm Kumbaya business. Yeah.
You know I still love you. You're my duty. So
Thank you. Thank you.
people. No, Mr. Toe. You highlighted something that's very important. And I just want to throw a few points in there from my own perspective and based on my experience working in the criminal justice system. Number one is that people should resist. We know how much power we've given to the office of the presidency of Liberia. And sometimes some of those powers that we gave are unnecessary and are being abused by people around the office that are assigned to the office. Now, the imprisonment of people, when someone is sent to jail or alleged for an alleged crime, It's not on them to vindicate themselves. They must be indicted based on the evidence presented to the court, and the court has to put a hold on them to be in jail until the prosecution starts, until the process starts. Now, the same court can decide whether to give them bail or not to give them bail. And like you rightfully pointed out, flight rates bill was designed for people who had the ability to flee. So when you see someone and they don't have the capacity to flee, why set high bills for them? Except that you have a real case, criminal case. And people are not supposed to be sent to detention center who have not been charged of an alleged crime. And the reason why you hold them is because you want to make sure that they come to court so that the prosecutor can present the case and find them guilty beyond a reasonable doubt when it comes to criminal cases. So those are the things that I really wanted to point out. Now, my concern is that because everybody and most people are compromised in that country, why do we have our legislators and former leaders, as in the case of Fanati, going to the court to request building these people out when they're not there for bail hearing? Why do we have our legislators who made the law, those laws that are being violated, going to the prison system when someone is held pending trial? Now, if you're going to hold someone on a charge, you hold them. If the district court is open, you get them to a hearing, and they arraign them. They plead guilty, not guilty. Then the judge decide whether to set bail or to hold them for bail hearing. I don't know if that was done yesterday before those individuals were taken, or but I think those things bring some frenzy out. When we talk about corruption, Mr. Soros, corruption is prevalent in every government. Every government. Because when you do favors for people, it's a sign of corruption. And everybody does favor for each other. But we're taking, in Liberia, it's been taken to a different level. You and myself were growing up back in the 70s during the Tubman administration. What happened to the superintendents for the indigenous?
Point of corruption.
One second.
Point of corruption. Point of
No, no,
correction.
no.
I say point of corruption.
Well, I get your
I,
age away.
point of correction. I say corruption. But anyway, that's fine.
No,
I grew up. I grew up in the 90s. Please.
yeah, okay. You wish. You wish you grew up in the 90s. But you know the case when Tubman grabbed those superintendents and locked them up. Specifically, Fangalo from Nimba County, Robert Kennedy, and a couple of other superintendents. Only because it was alleged that they were planning to take over the government. And those people were disgraced because as a little boy, I saw those people going out every morning and cutting grass. They had not been prosecuted and found guilty. None of that had happened. But they were being punished by going out, disgraced for this. So when Tubman got in, what did Tubman do? He got those same people and gave them positions in his government. Because our vice president, he knew it was not right to do that. And the late Robert Kennedy was sent to the Ministry of Labor, Youth, and Sports as the minister. You see, so when we're doing these things, we need to look back at history, and we know, like you rightfully said, some of the young people who never experienced some of these things before the war will not understand. But my concern is, why are our senators and representatives so involved in people that are being charged? And I
Thank
don't
you.
know. But my question also is, let me ask you a question. Does the LACC, are they given arrest powers? Do they have arrest powers?
I don't think they do. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't believe they do. I believe what they do is find probable cause and turn them over to justice ministry
And the
and say
justice,
these are, and their ministry turn their finding over the justice ministry and sometimes recommend. If that need to be done, they will recommend, and then just the ministry will go through the evidence and weigh in, and then it's okay. Yes, yeah.
And the administration is supposed to determine whether the evidence
So
are good enough to prosecute.
so this is
They're
what,
supposed to vote for arraignment.
and this is the problem that I've been talking about here, Mose. The corruption business is not just individual, entire institution.
It's institutionalized. You're right.
Entire institution is also corrupt because they have the book. They have some of them carry the constitution in their breast pocket, but to pick it up and say what apply here, they will not do it. They will have the constitution in their pocket and violate the constitution from time to time. Because why? They have the power. And this is what I'm saying here, Mose. And I'm specifically talking about this government.
Yeah.
This government. There are people that are within this government that have been on revenge, vindictiveness, and they try to bring that attitude and hide that particular revengeful attitude behind the Constitution. And when you take that Constitution away and look at it, you know who they are. And you find out that these people, they have no good except to bring disgrace to this government. And this is why some of us will continue to talk.
And
The point is, Moses, and I'll bring you in. The point is this. When this beautiful idea of access recovery, it's a beautiful thing. Because if I'm working for the government, and the government, we all know that the government is a larger employer in the Republic of Liberia. In the process of that, when they employ you, they give you some amenities. They give you car, they give you gas slip, and all the other good stuff. They are not yours. They're for the people. When you're leaving, you have to account for whatever they give you. For example, here where I work, when project comes to me, new project comes, we go and take over a meeting, and they list all of the things that they have accomplished so far, and they list all of the things that are still remaining, and then we come and say, okay, I'm an engineer, I'm a designer. Whatever you listed here, it most likely will not apply to this project. Then I come and make that engineering judgment to see which one going to apply here. But those things are noted so that the RE, the person who's going to be inspecting the job out in the field, in the real world, construction, he will look at the things and say, what was the process? What was Samson told thinking? What was the intent? But they're all there. So when you do these things, they take over from another government, from one government to another. These people support each ministry, each entity, each higher employee, before the inaugural process and things like that. They support the deputy report to the minister after collecting all of those things from the employer, from the employees. Before they give you cell phone. Here in my job, I listed everything, including this where is it? Where the people phone say? Oh, right here. Including this phone. Let me show you something very quickly, Mose. You see the bike here? You see the yellow stuff here? The yellow that cell phone here, cell phone. But this yellow tag and this thing here, this yellow tag here, it tells you exactly what you have.
Yeah.
And every 2 months, you have to list all of the equipment they give you. Whether you listed yesterday or not, it doesn't matter. You have to relist it so that people know at all times what their equipments are. So if for some reason I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to retire tomorrow, they go through that list. Okay, we got it. Okay, Samson, I go and report all of that. We check. If anything missing that is valuable, they say, okay. I say, your family in total, I come to tell me, they say, okay. My retirement check come, they cut it off.
Right.
They take their money out of there. They don't have to go to court.
No.
This is what this process was supposed to do. This process of access recovery, it is not a vindictive process. It shouldn't be. It is not a process to say, I got you, we're going to disgrace you. You've been stealing here. No, that's not your problem. That's not your core. If you believe the pricing is involved into mismanagement and things like that, you go through the actual process. How do you arrive at that? By listing things and everything. Everybody should have documents.
Yeah.
They give you, when you started, they give you $10. You leaving, you have to account for that $10 because you already spent it. How do you spend it? You spend it on Kobo, you spend it on Lapabido, those kinds of stuff. You list everything, gas, everything, and then you turn it over. They check it. If anything missing that you're not able to recall and things like that, I'm sure there are some way they will say, okay, we gave this person latitude. But when you come in as an investigator, you start, you look at something a little bit, say, that's why you're throwing me in jail, man. The man, like the superintendent of Grand Union County, he go do land inspection the other day, and he said the place was dirty. Oh, the man talking back to me. You're bringing, taking left, taking to the police station. Why are you taking the man to the man not supposed to say anything?
Exactly.
Those are the kinds of stuff. If you're going into this process with that kinds of mindset, you will not succeed. Because it's supposed to be collaborative effort. There are people that have knowledge of what happened to what you're going to investigate. But when they see you misbehaving like that, they shut your mouth. And you got nothing coming up except speculation. You go to court with a speculation, you're in trouble. Watch these people that are thrown in jail. They will walk free one by one. And you will not hear the government say, this is the result we have, and this is the report we have. They will not give you no report because they got nothing. Instead of doing it, telling these people, we are not here to disgrace you. Our job is what happened to the resource the Liberian people gave you when you were here. Please help us. If anything, what we can find it, let us know. You said the people stole rice. You will go in your stomach now and collect the reference there that the asset you're going to recover, or that caca, you're going to go to the people toilet house to go collect caca from there. What kind of business is this?
Government toilet.
Yeah, government toilet. I play. You go and get it and get it asset recovery. You're going to go asset recovery caca.
Well, let me.
This is completely foolishness. To be honest with you.
Okay.
Even the rice. Let me end on this, Mose, and I'll bring you in.
Okay.
The rice issue. You said the rice are money. Yes. So the people give the rice, and the people went and took the rice somewhere else. So I think that rescue 2 here joining me. Oh yeah, of course, of course. But he must say that Mambo Divacola on the one tonight. Welcome, Terry. Thank you for joining. I'm glad you and I agree with me. You will take the same idea where Clarence David probably feeling calling him and said, go, the liberal running your mouth too much now. No, I said, go right away before he turn it. Yeah. Clarence David calling. I know because Clarence David start correcting me here. I know you call it. But anyway, let me just say this. So, the rice issue that the people are talking about, you bring those people on board. Say, Minister, the people gave your rice in a place. So many bags. What happened? The man will come and explain. Okay, Chief, we hear it. But according to the paper we have, these are the things that were happening. Can you explain to us? And let the minister and the people explain themselves. Most likely, they must have reason. If their reasons are so ridiculous, then you recommend. But you can't one day. He said we've been doing investigation, undercover investigation for so long. Now we find evidence you have thrown people in jail. Why is that? What the point that the question that I keep asking, what did you achieve by throwing Mary Blood and Amos Sawyer's wife in jail? The minister part, he been teetering with jail business for a very long time. Like, people want in jail for so long. So that one part, that man, you're throwing something, but you're throwing women, grandmothers at South Beach. Then I start when CDC did it with Girl Muso's cat, for whom was death was involved. You saw how Unity Party people were carrying on in a place. That grandmother you were throwing in jail. Then now you start throwing grandmother in jail now. What we have here? Mostly, let me bring in Terry, or give me 2 seconds of your 2 seconds of your time, and then Terry will come in. Let's hear from you.
You talk all that tabata, then you want me to only spend 2 seconds.
Mose, Mose,
You hit
Mose,
so many points,
Mose,
and
that the
then
liberal,
I
that
know
the
that
that
your
the
show.
conservatives, that your show, that
I know
conservative
that your
show, but
show.
I'm in charge.
I want
I'm the board
to.
chair.
I
I'm
know
the board.
you man.
Let me. Oh, so I
I
did. I will call the board chair, the real board chair. I will call the real board chair tonight, and hopefully. But he's so he's just like Terry. He ain't let to embarrass anybody. I bet you if I were to reach out to the board chair right now and bring him on, he would say, "But Samson, you're the board chair." Now how you would say?
I know.
Knowing fully well, I
But
just fly by night board chair.
no, but boss man, you talk
You know.
plenty. I
Yeah,
want.
but go ahead. Oh, but don't talk plenty. Must say don't talk plenty tonight. Don't talk plenty. Just give me 2 seconds. Go ahead.
I want to talk the same time
Okay,
you
your
talk.
time over. Your time over, Moses.
Right?
Let's go ahead. Let's hear from you, Moses. Then we can.
Right?
You're muted. Go ahead, Moses. Let's hear
Okay,
from you. Then I'll bring in
thank you.
Terry.
But let me just make certain points. You raised some very important issues. The assets recovery. I think when they came up with the assets recovery, I was happy because I went to Liberia last year, and when I went to the foreign ministry, they were doing construction and there were no desks, no chairs, nothing. And I asked them, what happened? And they said, well, when the administration left, the people that were here in these offices took everything with them. And I thought that was a good grounds for the assets recovery process because you have been around a long time, even though you grew up in the 90s, but you knew that we had GSA, and the GSA stamp with the code and number were on everything that the government owned. Even the government chairs in the MCSS schools were labeled before they were put in there. You know, when you talk about your work in your field, where you had to do certain turnovers, in my field, we had to do exit reports. What we met, how far we were, if we still had some grant money that needed to be spent, we showed them and we gave them the details of what transpired during our tenure of office. And you had to do that exit document and make that presentation before you left the office. But again, we can take little steps, baby steps before we get there. We're not saying those are things that they should do, but these are the practices that bring about that minimizes the sense of corruption. And we have people with the capability
I know.
to do these things.
You're right.
And we have to do these things. So, the fact of the matter is that just going after people, the rights incident, we understand. They have so many bags of rights. And if you're alleging that they use it for political reasons to campaign, then that's something that needs to be done back door, not when you handcuff people and go take them to the prison system. Then you got legislators coming there and what have you. The assets recovery would have been a good ground for best practice so that we can create a statute. Most of the things that we do in Liberia don't have any statute. It's just taken by people in authority. Just take actions. We remember when people like Jefferson Kochi there used to call the police, like the police working for them. Oh, go arrest this person. Anybody can call a police officer. And, case in point, that's why in our talk, I think about 2 weeks ago, I kind of mentioned here that, and you mentioned collaboration of different departments in the investigation. That's why I'm a big proponent against the idea of the IG alone going out there and giving press releases.
Thank you. Let me bring in.
Okay, so let Rescue 2 come in. I know Rescue.
Let's hear from Rescue 2.
But
Walter Carter has sent you the link.
No, we're not taking no phone call from Walter Carter today.
He coming on air. He coming joining you. I'm giving.
Yeah, I'm behind the phone.
I'm giving him strong warning. That's not Mr. So on here tonight. That me. So Walter Carter, you got 2 minutes. If I don't see you, you come here. I put you in the bike. Let's hear from you, Rescue 2. Thank you for joining.
How you guys doing, man, Mr. Tigbe and Libra?
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. Pray for us.
Huh?
I said, thank you, Reverend. Pray for us.
Oh yeah, we always pray for you guys. And
Thank you.
yeah. So to the issue here, Libra, is that first of all I want to ask Mr. Sigby, when the police is investigating, like for example, because what I heard, this resting, the allegations are not just today. One time I listened to OKFM, Mary Brock was called by the journalist Clarence Jackson on OKFM to give clarity about the rest. And her response was very aggressive. She didn't answer the question the right way and she hung up. She was even using profanity on the air, and all of that. So this thing have been underwater. But what I want to know from you is that when an indictment is drawn by the police, or let's say by the police, what do the police do immediately? Do they effectuate an arrest, or do they transfer the people directly to the court? Do they effectuate an arrest and detain these people until the lawyer come and get them out, or do they just tell the people, carry people straight to the court?
Well, the thing about it is that the police, I'm not sure if they were part of the investigation. I thought it was the LACC that were in part of that investigation.
They were part of the LACC, not the LACC, but the asset recovery was working in collaboration with the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
And that was how they effectuated the arrest.
Okay, so when the charges, because the charges did not go through the police department, that means that it went through the assets recovery and went through, from what you explaining, and went through the Department of Justice. What the Department of Justice does is that they invite these people to court for the indictment. This has nothing to do with it. If there's a charge from corrupt practices, and on the other hand, and police has nothing to do with it, they cite you to the court for an arraignment. During that arraignment, they read the charges to the judge. The judge determines, at that time, they say we're presenting this evidence because we have a case that X, Y, and Z crime were committed, X, Y, and Z, and the judge will ask them, how do you plead to those allegations? They can plead not guilty, or, they plead not guilty. Most of the time, they plead not guilty. And then the Justice Department can petition the court to set bail before they get released. Or the judge himself can say, okay, we'll release you on your own recognizance based on your character because you're a first-time offender, to report to court also so there for pre-trial. That's the process. Because the people who try the case comes from the Department of Justice, not the police. Not the police.
So you're trying to say that the police were in error, or the justice minister were in error to arrest these people?
Well, they came from court. They reported to the court in the morning, and when they left the court, that's when they were being escorted.
So what I wanted to say.
So they appeared before the judge.
Okay. Then the police were not in error, right?
No, the police had nothing to do with it, in my own estimation. The police were not there. I don't think the police were the one who brought the charges. I thought it was the Department of Justice. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and they were escorted to the. But my point, my thing I wanted to say is that we tend to want people to be persecuted, but we tend not to want them to be persecuted. That is where we are. And I think this all help to promote impunity in one way or the other. Because for political reason, because of the high profile and all these kind of things, we tend to feel sorry for people when they do wrong, in Liberia, and compromise. And I think that this is also adding to impunity. And that is the reason why our society, there is no grip on the law. We don't have, people can just get up and do anything. Like the other day, one other Peking went and he almost killed a friend in the club and took a knife and juked him on his neck. But then after 2 days, we saw the people sitting in one room talking, and the man told the man sorry, and that was it. So, so it tells you that the society is not strong enough when it comes to security. People are vulnerable. I have seen murder. I have seen murder. One of my friends was murdered by his own relative, and this Pekin was sent to central prison. And after 1 month, the parents were able to talk. They called here and there. That boy was released. The parents settled it. The father who lost his son was killed by his sister's son. The father had to compromise with his sister. So, and this thing happened throughout the country with rape cases, murder, and many other things. And I believe this is the reason why, and for the hierarchy guys, is worse. This is you see people today jumping ahead. So think about it. If this story is true, wherein 29,000 bags of rice should have been given to people who suffer from disaster and other things, which one is more damaging? You know, that today we're saying to ourselves that the government is witch hunting. And people are saying, oh, we got to be, we're feeling sorry for the people, the way the people, they arrested the people and all that kind of thing. So I know Liberians are sympathetic, but what it does for us is that it raises and it keeps perpetuating the culture of impunity. So in my mind, Liberal is that we're not ready for Liberia to be free.
Thank you.
So
So let me say this here.
Give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
The other thing that Terry raised that is very important has to do with the process of these indictments. Now, yes, the Ministry of Justice goes and give the case. And we say we got 3 equal branches of government and they're independent of each other. The judiciary can make the decision not to prosecute a case based on the evidence coming through.
Okay.
The judge can really dismiss charges. They have the ability. That's the independence that they have. If they don't think the evidence is enough and the process of gathering that evidence, they can dismiss the charge and let these people walk.
Thank you.
I just want that clear.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Samson too. I'm sitting in tonight from you know who. Mr. You know who. But my pound is itching. And you see it? That money.
They be about to send you something.
I tell you, President Waka come and call me. You see my pound itching?
That's some of the corruption there. Oh.
Mr. So we pick out that in the next.
I know.
He will play it. Oh my goodness. No, but no, seriously. Terry, you're quite correct. Sometimes when we sit down here to have these kinds of conversations and when we make some statement, other people criticize us. But President Weah was on to this thing here long time ago. Long time ago. However, if we're going to do this, because right now my feelings are hurt to throw all of them in jail.
You see, that same thing that the rescue team was saying.
Exactly. But okay, so the point is this, and I've been saying that from day one. I've been saying it for almost 4 or 5 years. The young Liberians that are educated, they're also sophisticated in that they know the points Liberian people weakness. And those are the way they manipulate the system.
Right.
So right now, you throw somebody in jail. The person come from jail, they put them on their shoulder and running around Montreal with that type of person.
You did it too.
So exactly. How do we actually to say, okay, if we're not going to take the route of Gerald Rowland, which is way extreme, if we're not going to take the route of the guy from Singapore, which is a little bit extreme, if we're not going to take the route of President Baka when you're stealing your lease for our people, which way do we go to have this thing resolved? Monsieur, let me ask you that.
You asking me?
Yes.
I think what we're doing on the show is conscientizing people and educating people. Is the best way we can begin to do that. And with the public, they need to start stepping up to the plate. And when something is wrong, to identify that it's wrong, and there has to be consequences for people's actions, from the higher up to the lower person. But you cannot let the people in higher position get away with something, and you go after the little people who have nothing. I think that's where the inconsistency is, and for people to rise up. And we know that people, most of the people, I keep saying that compromise, and they look at, who knows? The people that gathered at the prison the other day for Fanati at the prison recently could have been influenced by somebody who had money and who gave them something. Some of the people may have benefited from the rights that they divided. Okay, so we don't know that, but we can only begin to educate
What
people
time the divided rights at Rescue 2? What time the divided rights?
during the elections.
It was April 2023, before the election.
Before
Right
the
before the election, yeah. The
before
same
the
year.
election, because
So maybe I ate some of that rice because I was in
that
Labro.
went there. You see,
I was in
You hear somebody
Labro.
right?
Maybe I was in Labro because I remember we went to a restaurant and they instead of giving up $10 a plate, they reduced the price of the plate because they said they have some free rice. I think I ate some of that rice on my view.
well, the thing about it
The
is,
What kind
case
of
close
CBA?
to that. You're not forget about it, right?
What,
You're one talk about it, right? Business.
everybody,
what kind of soup you ate with it, right?
Oh, Kazali.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I ate some of that. My bro, you're not going
that one
different
they call,
subject.
that one they call coffee.
Yeah.
That one they call coffee. You got the coffee in your stomach.
Yeah. I think we better move on to another subject. But you see where I'm going with this thing here? Who in Liberia right now you're going to prosecute for right business?
But the thing is,
If you even check some of that rice made way to President Baga house.
That's fine.
How you know what kind of rice you know?
They're not prosecuting the rice. The
It even come from my mouth. Look at Stevie. Listen to the kid. He said, according to spoon today, Baga was also giving some.
Everybody used to carry their spoon. They can't let you eat it.
Liberia, the rice is a stable food, and you're going to say what I really didn't appreciate on spoon was Samuel Jackson.
Oh my God,
going off rail. You Samuel Jackson, you came to permanence based on rice issue, and you're going to come out and accuse the government of witch hunting. I got some of the letter here that Samuel Jackson then wrote about the rice. And then you're going to say...
And those were all fabrication.
Most of them.
Fabrication.
Then you're going to say President Baka witch hunting people.
Because some of us know Mr. Jackson from the time he went to Liberia, how he fled Liberia, how he came to the States.
God forbid, that by law, I ate the rice.
I don't want to talk about any of those
I'm the board chair. I'm allowed to eat the rice here on LPR, and they're not supposed to do anything to me. But anyway, Moses, no, on a very serious note, let's go a little bit farther than this. Let's take it serious a little bit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing here with this whole thing, whole corruption business. I think let's listen to President Baka and let's discuss exactly what he's talking about. Let's listen to him again. Okay, please. Let's listen to him. And you will hear.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
So Moses, when this president was talking about this, he was vice president at the time.
Yeah.
And Liberia under President Salif, corruption was way on top. So I feel for him because you can tell that he was picking his word carefully
Right.
and wanting to make sure that it's not connected back to Liberia. As a result, he didn't even say West Africa.
The
He just
general.
said Africa.
He said countries
Yeah, countries, but he said Africa.
all
Yeah,
over the world. I mean,
yeah. But the point here, besides the passing and things like that, what I want us to discuss here, he said, and the point he's making, corruption hurts people, not just the government, not just the economy, but hurts people. Let's go down, connect this to the hospital, the needs of hospital in Liberia today, the need of students to be able to sit in a proper school house with good chairs, the needs of clinics in the village, different villages. Corruption, how much corruption is knowing what the president suggested here is exactly what is happening in his administration. Mostly, am I wrong to put this thing square to the doorstep of the president tonight?
no, I don't think you're wrong. It's out of curiosity and out of what we're gathering, and we've been responsive to the actions that are going on in Liberia. Let me give you one typical example. As a young man growing up, I remember corruption was stayed in Liberia when Talbot took over from Tubman. What Talbot did, you know, Talbot started a program called PUA to bring people at a level where they would not go steal to buy a bedroom. They would not go steal to pay their money, their rent. They would not go beg for money. So what they did, they started to build their estates. And you pay, I remember my mother living in Stephen Talbot Estate and paying $54 a month that was taken away from her paycheck. And after 20 years, she would own that apartment. That if you need a new bedroom set, you went to the store and you got PLA, and you got a new bedroom set, and it would take $10 from your pay, and you never saw the money. It was through the Ministry of Finance. All you had to do talk to the person who owned the store, and they did that. So, because of those things that were introduced, it started to minimize corruption. Corruption was there, but it was not visible because people were bringing their standard of living a little bit, and they call in this country middle class.
I'm not too sure if Terry understand what PLA though. I'm not too sure if he even
No, I
saw.
don't think you would. I don't think
No,
you would say
no,
that.
he has no
But
clue on it.
it was like a loan that the government signed and guaranteed with the stores, furniture stores,
Lebanese
yeah,
store.
well, the Lebanese store, they had Indian people store too, building material.
Yeah, but many of us they never went to the Indian store. Indian store, you don't want to go there.
Indian store were the one who sold the building material, and people were
Yeah,
building their houses.
yeah, okay, but the
And
Lebanese were
they,
furniture
yes, were furniture and appliances.
and those things. Mose, why you took me with the corruption business like brother? That's small thing,
No, it's not small thing.
they pay carpenter right down water side to face the tea, and then they come and sell it to up for so much money like that.
Yes, but that's
By
okay.
the time you finish paying, you almost buy your whole house.
Yeah, but at first people used to try to steal money to buy a bedroom set.
Right.
But when that system came in and you were paying $10 a month for 2-3 years and you were working, you didn't have to steal to buy a bedroom set. You see what I'm saying? Those are the things that were happening. And those were the things that were helping the little people under. Not to say that the big people were not still corrupt, but it brought some sense of equality among people that if that man in a guy bedroom set, he in an apartment, I'm gonna say I got my apartment, and I'm cool with that.
Okay, we got a correction here. He's correct. LPA.
LPA. That's right.
LPA.
Thank you.
Clarence,
Clarence
I
said
been out of library.
LPA.
I been out of library since 19
I
weeks.
said LPA, then you change it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You said PLA or PUA, something like that.
Oh, look how
Was it the house on and Terry, you the kind of conversation you will now understand it. But there was a house. What Water and Sue, I think they own that right behind Power House. What PUA?
Yep.
You remember the
Yeah,
name
I know
PUA?
PUA. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it as that. But
Public
and,
utility.
that leave it as that. I don't want to make mistake and call other knee. I beg you.
Public
When we go,
utility.
yeah,
Is
when we go in the morning to or in the afternoon to go to Coconut Plantation to go practice.
exactly.
Oh, that is song. Oh my goodness. Oh my
You
goodness.
know.
Ayama yama yama ye.
What?
Ayama kere kere. Ayama yama yama ye. Ayama kere kere. Bonse ya yama ye. We're waking people out. Man, y'all shut up, man. People trying to sleep in the morning. Who cares? I go on the Coconut Plantation. Oh, Maria was sweet. Maria, you can't do that kind of thing, Maria, right now. But
No.
let's come to you, young man. Let's come to you, Terry. Let's come to you.
Yeah,
Corruption right
both of
now.
your two so just lost me tonight, right? I'm lost in the wind.
I know,
I
I
know,
know, I
Terry.
know, I know.
But pray for
But
us.
Yeah.
Moses,
But it's good.
right,
It's
right
good.
on the corner of Benson and Camp Johnson Road,
Yeah.
Benson Street, they used to have this box, glass box, where
Yeah.
people come in and put money in.
Yeah.
And it stayed there for 1 or 2 weeks. Nobody take the money out. People just put dollar in there and stuff. You food will break it. You can't do that. And you ain't got no camera.
No.
You can't do it today.
No, you can't.
But that those were the days we call normal time, isn't it? Where
Yeah,
our
yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
used
But
to
there was
hang
still
the
there was
clothes
still a lot,
outside.
Terry, there was still a lot of issues, but those issues,
Mm,
you see, we gotta understand the post-war issues way, way beyond those days. The issues
yes, yes. But
post-war.
anyway, let's
That's
let's
what
get back.
happened
Let's
with
get back. Thank you.
total anarchy, no law and order,
Yeah.
and
Now.
come back after that to try to execute law and order without
But
education.
I think Liberia will go back, not going back, but Liberia will improve and with once again be at that level where people will not be, because right now many Liberians, they're like in prison. They are window bar. They can't even fire. It's difficult for you to get out. If you
But
make mistake, your door closed because the door is iron bar. The window, the iron bar. It's just like you in prison and the
in
criminal
your own house, you are in prison. In
and
your own house,
the criminal. So right now, if you get fan or the air conditioner in the house,
you
you're in
suffocate.
trouble.
Yeah, you
In
suffocate.
those days, you have your window open. The worst they can do to you, come and put the hand through the window and take your radio or take your cassette player. That's it. Let's hear from you, Terry. What are some of the things from your own young man perspective? What are some of the things we need to do to have the corrupt behavior not erase or eradicate or whatever you want to call it, but how can we minimize this? Because it's really hurting people.
But that was the old one kill the young now. The old killing the young in Liberia now. That's the only way you can deal with corruption. Bad soul need bad medicine. Yeah, bro. So after the war, that what you guys talking about, Liberia, the entire foundation on which there were culture, there were norms that we used to live by, everything crumbled. So that is why the perspective of you guys is completely different from the perspective of the generation there now. At least some of us were a little bit beneficiary of what we used to know to be normal days and or norms in society where our parents used to beat us for wrongdoing. But nowadays, those things are no more applicable in the society. So Liberia is not the Liberia you knew before. So the people have transitioned to another style, to their own style of life. And I think that is a problem. And if we don't have a government that will be forceful to bring people to justice for crimes committed, it will affect us, especially people who work in government. So you just need a system. You need a government that will be able to drastically take action on people. And also, you must not negate that even though you guys thought that you were living in those days, you were not living, because there was a one party system. There was a American Liberian culture. Also, there was a culture of impunity. There was one class of people who felt that power, they were entitled to power. So how were you guys really living? So I think the version, it is the result of what was structured then of your dispensation. We are only the guys that have been affected from what was brewing in the dispensation you guys were in. So that is why when we used to have debate under the Palawa horse in the Atari shop in Liberia, and we used to be debating about, people believe that the older people fool us. They fool you. I don't want to say, but we used to say the debate was about the you guys generation versus our generation. All right. Who put Liberia to where it is now? Is it us, or is it you guys? Is it your generation, or is it our generation?
Yours is about to be finished.
So,
Thank you. I think
so that
I think
happened.
Jerry, thank you. I think your question is in place, but um, when what's his name, Charles Taylor wrote though in the letter that I have here, he said, "Me being in United States and you're asking me to come back to Liberia to face justice. Your justice system that you have for me is the justice system that will bring this country back and turn the country clock back to 50 to 60 years. And that's the justice system we will give you." That was before he even went to jail and stuff. But that's besides the point. Terry, during the war, I was involved. I keep saying that. Every one of us are Liberian. We participated in it. Now, I never went to take gun because I was here in the United States. But whatever that I have to do for my people that was involved in the war, we collected money to support. We bought food, rice to support. So perhaps those actions prolonged the war, maybe. But that's not the important thing here. So when there was a peace conference in Accra, many Liberians went over there. And when they went, many of them, their intent was get position. And they were able to cajole many of the warring faction group to follow them, to support them, and what have you. I was getting my brother in the Bay Area here. He was in Accra. Every day he was calling me, telling me what was happening. Now, there was certain group among the group that was in Accra to say, let's do it right. We're coming from an area where people are traumatized. People died. The war is still fresh. You can't go in right now and say you're going to continue on with the Western style civilization. It's not going to work. Let's go collectively and carry our Liberian culture collectively. Because even during the war, there was an incident during the war where Taylor sent some people in the people's old bush. And when they came from there, according to the story that they wrote, some people were scratching themselves all day. Some people went crazy. Some people were beating themselves with rock and knocking themselves with rock and beating themselves with stake. They don't know what that kind of behavior come from. Those are
So, Labor, let me, can I come with a question quick? I think somebody asked me for the link, but what I want to say, Libra, is that why did we fight? Was it not because of the culture of impunity,
No, the reason
corruption?
I spent when I left from here the other time when I used to be in the East and doing the show from the East Coast. I got some documents here that if I were to put them up, people would be surprised. The document came to me from one of the top insider. He didn't fight the war, but he was almost like a spokesperson for many of the warring faction. So I got documents here. The war was not something we could have avoided, especially especially after the 1985 election.
I think it was before that. And
Yes, but the 1985 election pushed things off the
yeah,
rails.
Blow it up.
aspirated things a little bit.
No more than that. After the 1985 war, people made up their mind. No turning around.
Let
We're
me.
going. But before that, as you were saying, before that, there were people that were suggesting the coup was nothing there to say we have to turn around. Some of the people that got killed today, they suggested that the military stay in power for 1 year. And let me tell you this story now. It was suggested stay in power, the ice door, stay in power for 1 year, turn it over to the civilian. And the people they like of Amos Sawyer, they like of Tipote, they like of Dr. Formula and Baka Mafia, they were going to come and rule. And the Liberian people will call you back because the people got nothing to give to Liberia. They are unable to govern. You saw Amos Sawyer government, they are unable to govern. And what people are suggesting that when you do that, people are going to call you back. But that's besides the point. Let me finish my point. Comment. Let me see. Okay, guys, I will put a link out here. But when you come, I don't know you. You come out there. I will tell you. I will tell you. No, I'm not inviting you. I will put you back in your shell. So let me put a link up.
Let me just say this for a second. I think the war started when Torbert started to make some move that was not comfortable for a lot of people outside Liberia. The people who we knew to support us, specifically the United States. After the OAU, Torbert became a target. When Torbert decided he wasn't going to run for office anymore and he was bringing a multi-party system, Edward Ben Kessley was the first to introduce his party. And that was uncomfortable for a lot of people on top. Why are you going to bring multi-party system? Because Torbert has said the next election in 1982, he wasn't going to participate.
And you've seen the video that have gone viral here where his son.
So those
If
are things that started Terry, that started some of these people who had dominated the system
all
from
right,
generation to generation.
Mose,
And
Mose,
go back and
let's
receive
get
it.
let's get back. Terry, good question.
So
We will
that's a thing.
find. We will find. I
We'll
have
talk about
document
it
here.
some other day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have
Because
document here.
that's a very deep thing. Because
Yeah.
the reason I brought it out is
Yeah.
because these things need to be discussed sometimes.
Absolutely.
So,
Because take for example, look at
Pastor Cumming, Gerald, the link is right there. If you can see it. So
the
if you want
question
to
I
join
wanted
us,
to
do
ask
so.
before is that those things that happened before that led to the war, do you see them happening now?
Well,
the worst thing happening now, but because the people, no, seriously, but because the people are resolved to not go
Okay.
through that trauma again, that's what they have to.
and things are happening.
Things are happening.
Things are happening. People are still dying, number one, and people are
But do
still
you
taking
think
things that don't belong to them. And people
Yes,
are still saying, "Do you know who I
no
am?"
more than order.
Look,
Anarchy.
look at the situation most of are talking about here. When they put those people in jail, now I'm getting ready to talk both sides of my mouth. but that's what I do. I'm very good at that. When you throw those people in jail, why would Edwin Snow going to want to go visit people when you get your
Exactly.
senator? You want to go visit people. They
Why,
are
why
procedures.
that
They are
Finley?
procedures. You go
McGill
through
will
the
go,
procedures.
and McGill will go there. Why they go
Exactly.
there?
You don't go and say you know who I am. The scene, you know who I am. Business still
Same
going
thing.
on. So Terry is there. It's there.
It's there,
So
Terry.
folks, those of you that want to join me, Pastor Walter Carter, you had a link right. If you guys can see it, I don't know if it's up there. Okay. All right. So it's not up there. Okay. All
But
right. Yeah.
Liberal, I think we need to have sections where we go back and bring some people in, invite them, so that we can lay the premise for the younger generation, because the question
I
asked is very important. Very important.
let me do something here just to let you know that I have a whole dossier of documents. Go ahead, Moses. Keep talking
Yeah.
while I try
Oh,
to get to this.
okay. So it's things have changed, but have not changed much. And most of our people that leave from here, some of the people who went where Emma Sawyer went, were the very people that we were vanguard of when we were graduating high school at the time, right after the war. And we saw what happened. And some of those people went back with Emma Sawyer and perpetuated those same kind of behavior that they were holding the previous government accountable for.
Hmm.
They repeated the same thing, and we've seen it, the progression of it. So for Booker coming in, I think what he's doing is good, but there has to be a system put in place, and we need to make these things statutory. Say, for instance, the Liberia government employs 80% of the employment force in Liberia. Do we have any statute on salaries? By government design, if you want to run the government correctly, every position should be statutory, every government position, and it should be public.
Hmm.
Public. But when the legislators that are there pass those bills to make sure that it's public, they create a statute. If you're a minister, all ministers get the same play, because they are responsible to provide the resources for the ministry to serve its people.
So okay, Terry.
You know?
Let,
So,
yeah, let me show something. I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'll just show you what I
yeah,
have.
there are a lot of that can happen, but the education part, and that's why I think we spoke the last time when we talked about the funeral of Doe, of the former president,
Right.
and his
So
wife.
you see here, Terry.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Did well.
yeah.
But go ahead.
I'm getting to it.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
So this is just
A blip.
it's not quite. I'm just doing it right now because where's my
21
okay,
month
okay,
fire break in August of 1992.
okay. It should be a little
Uh-huh.
bit bigger now, right?
Yeah,
That's correct.
Okay. So
that's readable.
okay. So if you go back here,
About President Emma Sawyer was established in Monrovia in September.
where's my
Ever fully accepted by
come on.
factions and control.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So my goodness. Okay. But anyway, it's just something that I want to share quickly, and let me go back that again. Is it still big?
But
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
it's enough.
Okay.
It's big. We can see it
We
clearly.
can read it.
Okay. So
I don't know if the audience can read it, but we can read it.
okay. Yeah, they should be able to read it too. But the point here is this: I have here how many pages? Let's see. I have page. Okay, I have this particular
Oh, there are 193 pages.
and I and let
And
me
this
sh-
the
let
first
me
one.
Yes. So if you go back into that stuff, right? So if you go back into that the 193 pages that you looked at, and if I go back into my drive, I
Okay.
have over 500 folders that I have different type of documents, and if you go through here, you will see a. Let me go there again. I don't know why Terry brought us into this subject matter here tonight.
You the one diverted us.
And
Anyway,
Terry wasn't seeking education. He was seeking
okay.
knowledge, right, Terry?
So
yeah,
so if you go here, if you go through like this, for example, look at this. Why?
Yeah.
Uh, where was it? I saw
You just
why
passed.
why Johnson
Yeah.
something here. Okay, hold on. These are all documents.
Right there. Why Johnson?
What for Taylor and Dole.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are documents that if you really want to know and it's my research why I want to find out exactly what happened. You know, I want to find out exactly what happened.
How
Some
did
of some of these people got my name in it. To be
how,
honest, some of them have my name in it. But let's get out of here, folks.
yeah.
Let's get out of here. Let's get back on it. So, but we will, what I'm going to do when I set everything up, I will do a PDF, and not only a PDF, the already PDF. I will do a PowerPoint, and I will share with all of you guys so that we can have those discussion as times
Well,
go on. But
thank you.
okay, yeah, Mister. I
Liver.
was getting ready to ice
So,
comment. Yeah.
so the reason why some of these
Share
things
with
need
all
to
of
be
you
discussed.
guys. Okay, Mr. Pastor, you have to. Okay, here we go. Pastor, you got to mute yourself.
Okay, okay. Sorry.
So you got to lower his what he
Yeah.
listening to. But
Or
yeah,
you got to know what you're listening to.
take for
Okay,
example, Liver.
go ahead.
You got look at the rules in the country, right? Look at the rules. Do you think we should be talking about building roads now? Why are we now still building roads? Roads that are supposed to be, 4 lanes. We still working on 2-lane roads that are supposed to be 4 lanes, right? And then people say yesterday was good. So I'm thinking, what was good about yesterday? People
Yesterday,
are coming
Terry,
down.
no,
People
hold on.
used to
Yesterday, right? Yesterday, the bus that used to take me from Toton to Monroe, they put an iron inside. Well, just to start the
it
bus.
seems that we're so accustomed to poverty
Exactly. There
that
we
we
go.
see little opportunities to be something good,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
until some of us came to the West, before we could realize what life really look like. Because think about it, during those times, even I can remember when your parents took pay like $100, it was plenty of money. Plenty of money
Let
to
me
them.
work on the Cummings,
But
Mr.
people
Cummings, the
say,
pastor. Pastor
yeah, go
Cummings,
ahead.
welcome. Thank you for joining
Oh,
us tonight.
come on.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
The pastor that I used to.
So tonight, for some reason, the young man, the most younger person among us, decided to throw us way back to somewhere where we were not
No, we
even
can
ready
keep
to
the
go.
topic. Let go
So,
ahead and
but it's
discuss
very interesting. Let's see, why do you decide to join us tonight, sir?
Well, thank you, Mr. Tool. As a matter of fact, the first time I passed through Tool's town to enter Ivory Coast, I called my mom when I entered a village in Ivory Coast, and I started feeling so sad that there was current after Tool's town in
Yeah.
Ivory Coast,
Hmm.
and Liberia had no current at the time. You're talking about 2009.
Mhm.
But beyond beyond the border to enter into other places, I say our people fool us. And my mother said, wait until you enter Abidjan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When I enter Abidjan, the first thing I went to a farm and I saw the pineapple farm and I spoke heavy crude to her. I say, we are the Anyipo Drawo. She said, what you mean, my son? I said, our people lied to us. This is the same landmark here. Look at the pineapple farm. My mother said to me, wait until you come to Abidjan. Mr. Tour, when I enter Abidjan Terrence, I was at the Catholic Church, the radio station. I lied down on the floor and I said, God, we finished. I don't think we can catch up with these people. We are done. We destroyed our country. We destroyed good things. And one of the things that provoked me to call was when you were talking about the PLA or so.
Yeah.
Was it the PLA?
Yeah.
Because I remember living on Kerry Street, Crown Hill, just before the chief quarter between McDonald Street and that of
Camp Johnson Road.
Camp Johnson Road. There was a store right there. Most of the government.
Yeah. Right opposite Oreo. Right opposite Oreo store.
Right opposite Oreo.
Monterey College.
Yeah.
And Monterey College, I live beyond that. Yeah.
Right between there was a big store right there before the chief quarter. And there were most of the people used to get their stuff from that store. Right. But Mr. Toll, I'll give you one scenario, right? Every time our people talk about corruption in our country, I ask myself this question. I go back a little bit from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to come to George Weah, now President Bouakai. Let me give you a scenario. Amos Sawyer government was from Pearl River to Cotton Tree to 15 Gate. But do you know that we were not experiencing this level of corruption at the time? We just came from a war situation. The only place we get things from was from Freeport. 99% of the people that were bringing goods to Liberia were Sierra Leoneans, Ghanaians, and few Lebanese at the time because the stores were looted. But why we never had corruption, massive corruption in our country? What is it that Sawyer and others were doing just between Pearl River, Mount Barkley, or 15 Gate, and Cotton Tree? What were they doing at the time that government officials were not stealing like the way we found our government officials over the years, stealing the way they are stealing? They don't care for the people at all. Imagine that kind of cluster environment, small environment. Then we come to the interim government before Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. What were they doing? What Sawyer then were doing when they just had a small portion of the country? And look at the people that have all the sectors. They have all the ports of entry in our country. Why the massive looting of our wealth and resources in the country? It tells you that, Mr. Tour, these people are not patriotic. They are not nationalistic. I said to somebody the other day, I said, there's no way you can fool people like us. I stayed in the country for all the war, never went to exile. Mr. Tour, if you go back, and some people would disagree, you do a comparison analysis with that of Charles Taylor and the group after Charles Taylor. This group are more rebel more than the people that even hired the AK-47. Because when we had the AK-47, I could go to Greater Liberia and party and come home 4 o'clock in the morning from Banga or Grand Bassa to Monserrado. No harassment. We never woke up and we'll find dead bodies that the way they're finding dead bodies. We never woke up to the proliferation of ghettos and the proliferation of drugs in our country as compared to these people from Elling to come to President Bouakai. And when you argue it, the people say, no, Pastor Cummings, it's not true. I said, listen, I've spent 14 years in the media. Besides 14 years in the media, I was out there. Never fought the war, but I was always working in and out of Monserrado County. And what I'm saying is, it's a fight. And you can't dispute it. So these people are not patriotic. They don't have the AK-47. They don't have the Beritas or the BZ3 or the LAR. They don't have it. But why are they looting the way they are looting? They're building homes overnight. Mr. Tour, 99% of these people, we interview them. And if I had cassette to play, if you listen to some of them, what they were saying at the time is different from what they portray today. It's almost like he who pays the piper played the tune. It's almost like Claudia Amos Sawyer, the late. It's almost like Drew Mason then, who said they will not wear tipoter.
Mm,
I mean, they will wear tipoter rather than wearing the white man's suit. But when he became ambassador, he started wearing tipoter. The slogan, Amanda, I'm with you,
they're
they
wearing
throw
it
it
right.
in the garbage.
Hmm.
So these guys are not patriotic. They are not nationalistic.
Thank
President
you.
Bouakai may try, but Madam Salif try. Do you know that people who were in Madam Salif government introduced GMAP officers to stealing?
Yes.
They,
Thank you.
they introduced the GMAP officers to stealing. I hear people today crying over the Saudi people donation. Few years back, I broke the story on the Saudi priest, $5 million. $5 million donation to our country. That money was intended, Mr. Tool, to build a mini estate, 300 units between Mambastan and Douazon for Liberians that were returning from exile from these different refugees camps. That was the
Uh,
purpose the Saudi priest gave that money for. Then they were supposed to print textbooks. Who had a contract? A Lebanese, Sabano Printing Price. Who were the people hailing it at the time? The late Harry Gree, Mother Mary, Sister Mary Lorraine Brown, and Dr. Ah Hassan Conte, who is now Ambassador Conte.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you very much for the context that
Wow,
you're providing here tonight. Walter
that's
Carter,
not a
good
sweet
evening.
information.
Thank you for joining us. The liberal is sitting in for your conservative brother, your independent brother, and we will welcome you. But we will welcome you with what CDC people will say caveat. I don't know why they say yes or yes or caveat. They always caveat in something like they're getting ready to eat something. But
they
CDC
like to
word, yeah. Let
use
me use your
words.
own word. There's a caveat here tonight of inviting you. I don't, you know. So, but anyway, we'll leave it as that. What's on your mind, my brother? Thank you for joining us. Let me just say this here. Those of
Thank you.
you by another 30 minutes or so, if you want to leave, you can leave. It's Friday. My, you know why now? I want to plan it, but not here tonight. So I will stay here sometime. I'm running away tonight. So yeah, Walter, go ahead. So any of you want to leave, you're welcome to it.
All right.
Walter Carter, let's hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to say hi to everybody. Cos, how you doing?
I'm doing great,
Good to
sir.
see, good to see you on the show. So I got some stuff on my mind, but um, Reverend Cummings hit some points here that I would like to throw light on too. Um, Something caught my attention today, and it's so unfortunate that um we just pass over it like it's nothing. But in my mind, I think it has the potential of damaging our hard-earned peace.
Mm,
I remember a few years ago, the media in the diaspora and back home was lit with Jefferson Koji putting together a group called the Zebra Group, and everybody ran with that story that there was a group, the Monrovia City had a security group under the command of Jefferson Koji that were going around harassing people, killing people, doing all kinds of stuff. The news media carried that propaganda for a long time, which of course was not a true, it was not facts, right? Today, we see that this president and his wife, the reason I call about this president and his wife, because when President Bouakai was just elected president, the first lady went to Joshua Blahi compound and told him on national TV that she loves him, she got his back. Later on, there was a group that were put together by them. They were training in Morovia. and people thought it was the DEA. When they confronted A.B. Kroma, A.B. Kroma came out on Spoon and said he sent people to go and investigate. It was not the DEA. It was Butt Naked who were training people. Today, and then on the day of the AFL wives demonstration in Monrovia, Butt Naked again appeared at the president compound and said, "We came to defend the president. We are the rescue defender." And he and all his men were there. Today we see in Grand Juliet that Butt Naked again appeared, this time officially as a government or security, but a special group of security that is protecting, according to him, the president. The media is silent. The critical voices that were speaking out yesterday about these things, everybody's silent. The surrogates. And this the thing I call hypocrisy. We cannot continue to run our nation by cherry picking the different condition in different government and think that our country going to be okay. This is the reason why we come on this platform to debunk or to counter some of the utterances of our friends and family when they come to these discourse. It is very bad for us to at the time point finger that it was wrong, but today it's all right and it's all good. How can we run a nation? How can we move a nation forward? And I saw that, I was like, wow, the media is not picking that up.
Thank you.
But let me speak to my brother Cummings before I land, Mr. So if you give me, I mean, Mr. To, if you give me a little bit of time. My brother said,
What
well,
is your definition of a little bit of time?
um, look, I'm a contributor on this show. Can you give Terry
What is
million
your
hour?
terrorist or rescue
Okay,
tool?
yeah,
You are on negative. You are on negative rescuer. So
no,
why?
I'm an independent. I'm an independent,
That's
and
what
in
made
fact,
you a
they show you
negative.
running
That's
tonight.
why.
They
That's what
show
make you
you
a
running.
negative.
They show you running tonight. You only holding it. It's not for you.
Yeah, I know, but you are
Okay,
a
so give
negative
the independent
rescuer.
chance. This is an independent show. Give the independent chance on the
Okay,
floor.
I gave you
Thank you
two
very
seconds.
much.
Two
Thank you
seconds.
very much. No, not for a second there. I can no, on a serious note. My brother Cummings says something here. Let me give you historicity of our past and stuff. He mentioned Amos Sawyer, and, from cotton tree to whatever, and there was no corruption. I would tell you no, it's not true. Because we were in Morovia and there was massive corruption. Massive. But you know why? The Liberian people mind were not on investigating corruption. They were on survive. The faith is survival. They were trying to survive. We had just come from war. I mean, we were fighting war. Liberian people mind were not on what was going on, especially in National Bank, what was going on at the Freeport, the Gateway. No, we saw massive corruption. We saw security, I mean, organization of splinter rebel groups right in Morovia. We saw all those things. Corruption at its fullest. But Liberian people at the time in Morovia were not concerned about corruption. We were concerned about surviving.
Yep.
We were
Thank
concerned
you.
about surviving. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter Carter. Thank you. I almost came up to say Walter Family to sit down, but this is a very serious business, and you coming out here you are an intellectual person to come out here to make that statement. You must have seriously thought of it. But do you know that the vice president wife and Milton Blai, she was supporting Milton Blai cause even before she became the sacrifice lady. She was doing so when Milton Blythe turned himself around, and then she decided to help him with the church and stuff. Do you know those things? Do you know that they were connected before they became president and first lady?
Thank you so much, Mr. So being transformed, everybody embrace it. Being transformed as a preacher
No,
man.
okay. But
Hold
do
on, hold
you
on.
know
You
that? No,
ask
it
me
was just a
question.
question. No, I'm not
Yeah.
asking for
No,
explanation.
no,
You
no.
know that? Do
It
you
was
know
not
that?
we. The fact is
No,
her
no, there's
her
nothing
her,
fact. I
her
just ask you a
admiration.
simple question. I
rhetorical.
just asking a simple question. Do you know that?
Her admiration for him being a transformed person is good. But what I'm saying, transforming into security individual now,
Okay, all right.
that's my problem.
Thank you for expressing that. And none of us here, as a member of the government, none of us here can satisfy your question. Whatever it is that is happening between them, and we hope that the government will see reason because Milton Blai, as you also know, has history in Liberia, and so when his name is popped out, just like honor president, we have power, general power. We have my own cousin from the
Hopefully,
Boston,
dear.
Ofori there.
Dira. And we
We
said it was
have
wrong.
no,
We said
but
it was wrong.
nobody asked you again.
But
Oh.
Mr. To, just to provide little information for Brother Wilton, is this look 2005 election? Let me ask you this question: the guys who provided security for President Weah, 99% of them came from where? The
And
guys that
brother,
were in his inner cycle,
we
in that
said it
diamond,
was
where they
wrong.
came from?
Cummings, we said it was wrong. We
Okay.
said it was wrong. That's what the reason why we moved we are.
When?
We said it was
When?
wrong.
When me and 5 Korean journalists were arrested to CDC
Brother,
party
we
headquarters.
said it was wrong 2023. This is the reason
All
why
right,
we
let
moving.
me go on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Thank you for expressing it. We're hoping that the president and those that are in the security apparatus will find reason if this is something that is hindering our peace or whatever it is that have the danger to put our peace to a different place. We pray that they will come together. Okay, let's move on here. The corruption business, I think, we beat that to death. But let's try to see before we close. I want to open a line. Let me open a line, guys, if you don't mind. I will open a line for maybe 5 minutes. And in the meantime, though, while the line is open, we're still going to be talking. But I just want you to be mindful while you're in the process of explaining or talking, and there's a phone call comes in, we will hold you to that, and I want you to respect that. Let's go to my own brother, the security analyst here. I know why you guys, Walter Carter and the pastor, were talking. So, rescue, you are also pastor, but I mean, I didn't say rescue. So, when I say rescue, then you know. But the pastor who was just joining us now. So let's go to Moses. Moses, what do you make of the new information? The pastor came here and told us some of the issue about corruption and how it hurts us. And Walter Carter came in and connected you specifically because you are a security analyst and brought this issue up. What can you say about it, Moses? Let's hear you.
Well, let me just say this, and I think Winter spoke eloquently, and I think he gave a good analysis of what happened. Immediately after the war, Amos took over. Amos Sawyer, as an interim
Uh,
leader,
okay, Chief, hold on 1 minute. Let me, and we'll just do it for 5 minutes at most. So just bear with me. Caller, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind, please?
Hi, Mr. Tool, and hi to everyone. I joined the show late. I only listened to Photo when he was talking about Bodnik or Blai, whatever his name is, and the other gentleman tried to interrogate him, saying, "Oh, because it happened to him, the Korean journalist." I was just wondering if because it happened then to him, so
we didn't hear your name. We didn't hear your name. You call your name.
Oh, okay. My name is Opa.
Opa who?
Opa Kalon.
Okay.
My name is Andrews Opa Kalon.
Okay. Amber, what party you belong to?
Cummings.
Okay, we got it. Oh man, go ahead.
I like the view as a Liberian.
Oh, you're talking plenty now.
No. I don't want. I'm the people always make that mistake that you think I'm a seditious. I'm not a seditious.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Finish your point, my brother.
Unbreakable change your name.
Yeah. So my next.
No, that unbreakable. That Ambrose, the guy who talking about that Ambrose. Go ahead, Ambrose.
One of your regular callers always accuse me of being a seditious. You know, I don't have anything against CDC, but I'm not a seditious.
Yeah.
Well, love you guys alone. But you said our first lady was supporting Bly because everybody thought because he reformed himself to be a pastor. And so I don't know, is he still preaching, or now the preaching is being set aside? Now he's just a full-time NSA employee, or what's going on with that? Is he still preaching, or the gospel is on the table for now?
I don't know, and I will not try to even answer for him. So go ahead. What?
Yeah,
Thank you.
It was wrong then when people. Because what Bly did a lot of horrible things in Liberia. For the president to be associated himself with him, that's a scary thing. Because I'm not saying we should judge him or we should crucify him, but he's as guilty as Prince Johnson and anybody or Chancellor or anybody in Liberia. The people that kill people over there, for him to be associating with the president who get a clean hand, that speaks volume. And he said the first lady was supporting him. Maybe she was supporting him because she's the mother and she a strong faith believer, and because then he was a pastor, so she said, "Oh yeah, let me embrace him."
Hold on. I want to put clearing on, but if I do that, okay, Amber, if you're caught up, I'll call you back. Just hold. Oh no! I don't want you to leave. Just hold on.
He's
Let me mark
done.
this. No, you're
The
not
man
done
is
yet.
done.
Ambrose can't be done like that. Ambrose, stay there. Don't go. Yeah, the same thing I was afraid of. Okay, Ambrose, go ahead. Make your point, then I'll bring Clarence on.
Yeah. But only thing I want for us to do, don't stop the blaming game and start switching going to say, oh, because somebody did it before, so now when who's doing it, it's okay.
Okay.
We don't go forward with anything because, like, what the asset doing right now, if Unity Party having the lead power in 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, 12 years from now, another government decide to go after them. And that the whole rest story, it got a lot of hole in it. The Senate mayor, the current Senate mayor got 1,000 bag of rice. And Thomas Fowler got over 5,000 bag of rice, but he never got arrested, or they never invited him.
Okay.
So what's the deal? What's the deal with that? That's like a selective justice. I know the Senate mayor, when he was doing the cleanup campaign, he received over 1,500 bag of rice.
Okay.
So why he's not being pursued? But
Thank you.
Thank you for the show. Thank you for the show. I'll continue listening.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you very much. Let's hear from. Okay, thank you. Clarence, go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Joe, how you doing?
Thank you.
My dear brother, John Cooley, my man, welcome to help you out tonight, my man. I'm a brother that we work together with the International Injury Council.
Clarence, God bless you. Long time.
Tonight, I have 3 points I want to raise tonight. And the very first thing I want to tell the President, thank you for hosting the program that we had today, getting it peacefully. I think it's a pride for our country because Nima and Branjida, those two countries, this for in the society. If a politician will want to be able to use our country today, get in the party, but at the end of the day, the blinking are going to go to Branjida. But the people of Branjida stood your ground, and the program will help peacefully. I want to tell you, people, thank you. And the second point I want to make here concerning the right issue, from the beginning, Mr. Toh said, if they can look at Sawyer White and go in jail, they look at Mary Brewer. Mary Brewer, Sawyer White, they are not above the law. If we want for Nigeria to be okay for every one of us, in the country that we all are living, personally, if female is family commit a crime here in 10 times. So don't put aside that female syndrome. That's why I mentioned in my comments over the female syndrome, the female commit a crime when they still call that corruption. When the small men see the cell phone in our country, people beat them on the street, and many of these young people that are in jail today, now jail for the overcrowded today, that for cell phone, that for motorbike cases, they getting a many of those people are in jail. But to be stealing. Our resources have been stealing. The future of the country, when they shoot us in there, then we can come on the media and begin to back them. If we want for Nigeria to be okay, don't put a billion signal aside. regardless of your status, if you commit a crime, you should be able to serve the time. Now the president, the team that you play there, the president rightfully said it. Because I can remember I was in like Germany when I broke up and I went in the camp, Mr. Doe. Just so you know, Mr. Doe, my first time entering that camp, the truck that came out, they all go from prepare on the world and then see there. The truck that came was there by something of the way about it there. So when I asked it, I was saying something human being about it inside. And we were working in the market. We never had meeting and evidence that we never had meeting to get out other people. And many of young people in the whole to it down in that area. There's a pastor that came in, I was watching the level 3. The men lost a life. One thing I give another person that survived. So corruption can destroy the nation, corruption can destroy the nation, they have something in the nation. So when a person want for the country to go out, they say that for right alone. It's just about government corrupt to be the next government or coming tomorrow, you can prosecute them. That's the only way they go forward. Thank you for the show.
Thank you. You'll be the last caller for this Friday. Thank you very much. In fact, I'm on show anyway. So that Mr. Soul show. I'm not thinking any more call again. Everybody up you people myself making plan. Dr. Malley, you care to join us? That me, Rescue 2, Mose here, and the new pastor George John. When you come, you and water cutter, half a water cutter will be with you. So you got place here tonight for you at all. Thank you for not coming. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Moses, go ahead and make your point, then we can wrap it up, please.
Yeah.
I'm not taking any more call anyhow. Dr. Malley, good evening. Thank you for joining us as well. Go ahead, Moses.
Yeah, as Winton was saying, and he said that there was corruption present when Amos Sawyer, and we know, and we can reflect that in fact Sawyer was accused of purchasing $1 million home right here in Washington D.C. when he served as interim president, and we know that his presidency was only limited to the city, Monrovia, and that. All of the warring factions did not agree with him. That's how they went and put that coalition government together to make sure that he was removed. The corruption started from the way that the interim government was set up, because Amos Sawyer met with some folks, including Eddie Justice Saliv, Romeo Horton, and all of those guys, to try to get together and go and out the government. And he bypassed those people and had that clandestine meeting that was able to elect him as interim president. It was manipulated. Some of us participated, but the invitation came so late. They had a meeting on a Thursday. We didn't get an invitation to Tuesday night to fly out of the U.S. to go to that meeting that was going to elect him. And it was only open to the Moja group. So to hear the Reverend say there was no corruption there,
I said there was no massive.
No. Bossman, corruption is not massive or minimum. If it's corruption, it's corruption.
We can argue that from now to tomorrow, Brother Moses. I can. Everything I say, I substantiate my
Let
claim.
me just say my piece.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Corruption is corruption. And let me just say that for the security piece here is that there are many times where we see things happening. Some of us who've been in the security, who got experiences, we see that, and we see that the threat level is either high or low, and you can assess to make sure that those things are not happening. And Winter Carter made a reference to the military wives rally. I managed to have been in Liberia that day. I think the security threat of that incident was at the highest level. But was our people equipped enough to realize that and to put the mechanism in place. I was in Liberia when it happened. And I sat there and I said, wow, this is ridiculous. And from there on, I got to conclude from my own experience, personally, my own estimation, that Liberia is vulnerable, very much vulnerable, looking at the security sector, the security system we have. So let me come back to the rights issue that, what's his name, Clarence was talking about. And I said in the beginning of this show, and this is my final statement because I have to leave.
We're leaving ourselves.
I'm hoping that what is being done today, as far as holding people accountable for things like beggar rights and all of that and corruption, we create a statute, that our legislators create a statute in Liberia under the Constitution so that these things can be continued.
Thank you.
That's my appeal to them. And not only just saying that when you do this, you're wrong, but they should put and define the kind of crime that is and the term of reference to sentencing and all of that, up to how many years you can get. And until we can do that, people will do things where you're punitive.
Thank you. But I hope you don't leave. Let the other panelists.
No, I will listen to them before I leave. I'll listen to them.
All right.
I'm putting myself on mute and I'll listen to them.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Walter Cutter, let's hear from you. You got 2 seconds. Since Dr. Marty going to come here, send Dr. Marty going to come here and try to defend you. In fact, you got 1 second.
That's all right. That's all right. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Moses, for picking on what I just spoke about. So yeah, I didn't talk about the rice issue. So sometimes when this government is doing something and we're trying to say that it's good, and we all want to eradicate corruption in our society, but you cannot put the political hat and do it and eradicate corruption. You got to do it holistically. You got to do it for clear conscience that our society, the very fabric of our society, is corrupt, and we got to get it out. Now, when you start with rice that the Saudi donated, that the ambassador turned over to the government, that was stuck in the warehouse that got full and also taken to GSA, and then you haul Mary Bra, you haul Dr. Sawyer's wife, Sawyer's wife, and then you haul the foreign minister in it. Where are you leaving the present city mayor who used this very rice? The rice, there are still rice there, who used over 1,500 plus bags of that rice to feed the people that were cleaning the streets in Monrovia. How do you call that? Why you let him out?
But would that not be Walter Cutter? You just broke your own neck. The rice was donated to the government Republic of Liberia for a specific purpose. And
yeah,
if the city mayor used it, the city mayor used it to feed people who clean the city of Monrovia. Walter Cutter.
So the other people, hold on. So the other people that they say that they're arresting, did you ask them what they used the rice for?
Okay. No, I don't want to.
You arrested them and put them in jail. I'm just saying.
Okay,
I'm just saying. Yeah.
I just want to point that out. But go ahead, make your point, my brother.
The rest was intended for disaster victim. Disaster victim. Is cleaning the city of disaster?
Okay.
Is cleaning the city of disaster? I'm just asking why the government brought the people on the street. The government could not feed them or pay them. So is it right for the city mayor to take the rest and give it to people who are cleaning the street? Okay. Well, I say no, but I mean, it's a big conversation that we need to have. And back again to this whole thing, like I said, Mr. Moses said it should institute the laws that will, follow through with the thing that happening. I see it not even possible, because if people on this platform cannot own up to what they preach against back then, that is taking place now, or that are taking place in our society now, that they're defending, I don't think they even pass a law that will even hold people in the next government accountable.
Thank you very much. Beautiful.
Thank you for being patient with me.
Yeah, you really pushed that one. Let's hear from you, Pastor. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Waiton, I need a one-on-one with you. Mr. Tool can set up the time Anybody that know me in the media and as a pastor, I don't support political party. I don't work with political institution. What I preach is what I stand by. I've never been to justice ministry, neither the PUL. Follow my track record. They never invite me one day. Anything I say and challenge the
But
government
when I
official.
excuse me 1 minute, Mr. Coleman, Wilter Carter and Mose, you guys spoke. We listened to you. Now you're finished.
May I go on mute?
Your phone, you're shaking everywhere now. Go ahead, Pastor.
So
Next time, y'all be the last to speak.
Waiton always like to take a shot. So do your investigation. Go to the PUL. Follow my track record. The reason why you always take a shot because of the prophetic utterances that I gave during the election. So, and he's belated. I said it during the days of Charles Taylor, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I said it to the late Councillor Bronski.
So you did that too. Okay.
Yeah, I said it, Mr. Tour.
Yeah.
The late Councillor Bronski came to see me, and I told him what was going to happen in 2011 election. You do an exclusive with the former TRC boss, he'll tell you that guy never read all the document, but he told me everything that will happen, and it happened. So wait on, do some research on me. My name is Jacob Wadnimlen Seyon Cummins. I don't draw back. When I say something, I mean it. I mean it. But you know, the issue of the rest and the issue of justice in our country, Mr. To, sometimes reading and not comprehending, it makes some people to we always ask them question, are you ready filing issues? Were you filing issues then? Are you still keeping documents or track of issues? If we go back to the late Chairman Judy Bryan situation with Kabina Jana and Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, you know, Bryan became the victim of that ECOWAS audit report. I can sit here and tell you and show you documents and send you copy on names of people that were in that audit report, but never made it to the court because they were fraternity bodies and friends. But Bryan became the victim. Chairman Bryan wore 25 other slippers.
Let him finish.
He wore 25 other slippers.
Let him finish.
He wore 25 other slippers from Justice Ministry to Monrovia Central Precinct. 25 other slippers. On whose watch? It was Kabina at the time. Was it at an equilibrium? What happened to Snow? What happened to Zopen? What happened to all the guys' names that were in that, including cabinet ministers, including Tugbe Do, Tapla Do, all these guys' names that were in there? Why was Bryan the only victim? So it was selective. And it's the same thing that government come, government go and do. Is that you don't, the access recovery team, there's not a place to go and arrest Madam Bro. Turn the case to the LACC. Let them do an investigation. When they do an investigation, they say, okay, here is the finding. Then they turn it over to the Justice Ministry. The Justice Ministry then say, access recovery, call these people and do your own investigation. That's how things work. But for access recovery people to go and arrest people for rights, I think that's a bad precedent. If you have time, listen to Emmett Cohen. And I love what you say. People think you are biased, but from the intro, I listened to you. You said something. You said, we all supported the war. And you just buttressed what Ambassador Emmett Cohen said, that the war should have ended in Buto. But Liberians in the diaspora at the time were meeting lawmakers and they were collecting money that Charles Taylor must continue with the war. So the same was also applicable to Thomas Yaya Nimland, the leg of Sekou Damati Kone and all these people. So I love what you said earlier on. But Mr. To, to set precedent in our country will require people who are patriotic, nationalistic, who love their country. You know, Mr. Moses talked about the security sector. He looked at that one issue. He said, but from this, I know that our country is vulnerable security-wise. Liberia been vulnerable a long time. Long time. Even when the AFL took on the Nigerian contingent, for the money that the government have for them. Our country was vulnerable prior to that time, and Liberia been vulnerable long time.
Thank you.
Not only from that AFL situation, at least that time we have 1,500 men in the country.
Sir,
And it was more dangerous.
Thank you. Moses, you got to mute yourself if you're talking.
And the country being so dangerous at the time.
Mr. Toll,
I mean, thank you so much, sir.
I don't want to say something to my. I don't want to say just 2 seconds to my cuz. I want to say 2 seconds to my cuz about Judy Bryant. The reason why Judy Bryant was sick now, among all the other people. You remember when those people were.
Huh?
What people
remember? You remember when it was.
I beg you. Go ahead, Walter.
You remember when they were doing the Accra peace agreement or bringing in who's supposed to take over? Judy Bryant and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was in Ivory Coast in Abidjan with us. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf went to Ghana so she can be elected as the president at the time. Judy Bryant went behind her and carried a whole group. And no group undermined Ellen Johnson Sirleaf becoming the interim president. Judy Bryant became they elected him. And Ellen Johnson held that against him to the extent when she came to power, she decided to prosecute him.
When you have this ECOWAS audit report?
No, I'm saying the audit report was valid, but the reason why they didn't put the other people behind bars and they only signal him is because of that.
Thank you, Walter. Let's go ahead to Rescue 2. Why Rescue 2? Let's hear from you.
Well, Tabata always juicy. A Tabata can always be, So the time you put Charles Sirleaf in handcuff, Charles Sirleaf, former Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's son, when you put him in handcuff and brought him into detention, without what you were doing?
It was an investigation.
It was investigation. But this government doing it to Madame Bro, it's not investigation, it's witch hunting.
Yeah, they didn't investigate nothing.
Okay.
We're not going back and forth.
But let me ask me a question.
No, you're not asking you a question.
What you don't understand, Keta, is that the asset recovery team is also their responsibility also extend to legal and ethical consideration. The asset recovery team cannot arrest, but they can forward, which they did. They can forward the complaint to the Justice Ministry, and the Justice Ministry can take action, which they did. Now, if Mary Broden and other people felt that the procedure was wrong, they have the right to go to the court, and they can file a lawsuit and sue the government for infringing on their rights.
Right.
But that in no way justify that the government was witch hunting or the government is witch hunting. No, I don't want to believe so. It is the responsibility of the government. You put Gloria Mususka in jail. Can we say that you are witch hunting her too?
For murder, she was on the crime scene.
Are you running the show or not me?
He asked me a question.
No, you're not asking
him.
I'm not asking you a question.
Walter Carter, I will pack you.
You took Bani Samuka out of his job after the man wanted something. That the time you say you file a lawsuit against him, they're not witch hunt. So this is the hypocrisy that you guys can do. And you come on the show, then you say, oh, our government deceptive, our government corrupt, our witch hunting, blah, 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 blah. Long list of all kind of things. Milton Bly, labor, to Milton Bly issue, Milton Bly spoke like a man from the active group of the Grenadian. Milton Bly said the way Hayeke Koluba was making threatening and political statement in regards to the timing of the celebration of that particular homegoing of the heroes was not appropriate, and he felt aggrieved over the issue. It had nothing to do with the government. As a matter of fact, where Milton Bly was far from where the whole particular ceremony was ongoing. So there is no way you can tie it to anything. And Milton Bly have a history. His records are there. Since he turned his life to Christ, his records are there. You can go and check it. This guy have never been involved into no crime. He have been on his humanitarian business. He have not even fought anybody. I've never seen that guy fight anybody. He felt aggrieved because he felt that Yeke Koluba was obstructing the barrier of the late Doe and his wife. And he said he threatened Yeke Koluba that if he tried to do anything otherwise, he will move on him, man to man. So I don't know why you keep trying to draw the government and you attaching the man already told you openly that he part of no security. You get no evidence on him in that regard. And when it comes to any pastor, I will defend them to the letter. Anytime you go after them, I will defend them because I know him as a man of God. And
well, how come you're not defending me? I'm a pastor too. I'm a deacon.
But you already have the vision that we are not coming back. So I'm going to defend you. And Mr. Cummings was on the show. He called in that day when we're talking here. The next day you have vision. He's able to be thanking the man of God.
Yeah.
But anyway, Libra. So thank you for the show. I just want to say is that we need to get rid of the culture of impunity and let the process go on. These people are Liberians. They have the right to vindicate themselves. And you saw the people went to central prison after 2 seconds. They came and freed them from there. That is the law. Let's go through the process. If the law don't work for us, then we'll say, okay. But I think this government is responsible.
Rescue 2, putting all of it in jail. Not for that one there.
But Labor, how would get him from? How cultural impunity? Who's able to go to jail?
Yeah, okay. All right, guys. Moses say we thank you, Mr. Cumming, Pastor. Thank you very much.
Yes,
we
sir.
hope you will join us again to be able to have some conversation.
Same cause doing the show now. We're calling the political pastor there. Terry, the political.
I'll be happy.
For you.
I'll be happy.
You will be on the wrong
Be
side.
that one between him and say.
You will be on the wrong side.
Labor, don't get between my.
Some kind of one.
Labor, don't get between Kume and myself. Leave it.
Okay. Let's have a debate between you and the pastor.
Yeah, let the pastor come on.
No, Bobby.
No, I don't want you. I want Eugene Nambe. Eugene, bring Eugene.
I don't know why you arguing with.
I want Eugene. Bring Eugene.
You go with Keto. He's soft.
Go bring Eugene.
Terry, I just defeated a man point about Monrovia. Then he said the man will be soft. The man said there was no corruption in most of your government. I've defeated Iran.
I said, brother, Mr. Moses said, corruption is corruption, no matter what you.
But you didn't specify nothing.
But look at the massive looting that is taking place.
Okay, all right, guys.
Homes overnight.
I'm back, guys. Let me get out of here. I want to thank all of you again. Please, let's join Mr. So on Sunday and move this conversation. One thing I like about the way we do this thing here, because we come out here and have conversation, they are very helpful. Believe me, people will come and listen, and those who want to make comment, they will make comment. And I hope we will continue to do that, because that's also give us an opportunity as citizens of the Republic of Liberia to engage each other and discuss what we believe to be our passion in whatever area we're in. So I want to thank all of you again tonight. I'm sitting in for Mr. Soul, but I think all of you here made this show a wonderful, wonderful show tonight. Dr. Mali, thank you. John, Clarence, everybody, thank you for your contribution. I will say good night to you, but I pray that we'll all stay alive, and I pray that people will not drink and drive. Please, let's continue to pray for one another. With that said,
I'll say good night to 2029.
Huh?
That we all stay alive until 2029.
Yeah.
Beyond 2029.
Beyond that, I want to go more than that. Right. I want to see this thing here. Let somebody feel that on the platform.
Defeat your prophecy. I want to defeat the
somebody will eat crow live on the show here.
Exactly, and I want to defeat the incoming prophet prophecy. Prophet, what he need? Prophet celebrity. Listen to me, Derek. Prophet celebrity. My man, incoming prophet celebrity, Mr. Toe, wanna be politician.
Oh, Mr. Toe? No, Mr. Toe is not.
I'm the guru. How you say want to be? But anyway, guys, Thank you very much. We'll
The
say
man
good
was
night to
singing
all of you.
song that you can't even remember. I don't even
Yeah.
know that song. The song he and Brother Moses sang. I don't even know if I heard that song before.
That's it. That's the song. That song when we used to go to, because if I
West Point to play soccer.
yeah. When you go into coconut plantation in the morning or in the afternoon, you put your shoe on your shoulder like this, and you group, and you're sinking.
Your green
Ayama, yama gole gole, yama ye, ayama.
Brother Moses they can sit on all the security experience. I will say this to you, Brother Moses, like I said to the late Sheikh Kafuma Kone and the late Emmanuel Jonathan Buyan.
Okay.
When I did an exclusive with them, I said, if y'all leave without a book, y'all will hide us.
Okay.
Thank you. They left without a book.
All right, I'll take your word. I'll take it.
We need people like you. You guys,
I will let you know one thing.
Terrain.
I'll let you know one thing, my brother.
Yes, sir.
I got my second thesis that I wrote after the war was basically on the revitalization of the security sector. Dr. Souls has a copy.
Thank you.
It's not a book yet, but I'm going to expand on it later.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Where's the other security analyst? He
ran
away.
What you want to know?
Where you?
the man undercover.
We need to revitalize the whole security sector.
All right, guys. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Pastor. Good night, Moses. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate all of you again. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, I'll just do this. Again, Samson told abruptly, I want to thank all of you again for tuning in tonight. Please let us continue to pray for one another and let's do good to each other. God is there and God is good at all times. Let's believe that. Good night, folks.
Rachel de Kibo, je adé. Oh, après Gogo, Yaliwa, Bagnon, Yalia pour la femme. Avec Gogo, Yali. Avec Gogo, Yali, Stéphane Soko. Oh, après Nana, I'm a Mera Gogo, Yaliwa. Stéphane Soko, pour la femme. Aïe, Gogo, Yaliwa. I'm an America, Sawa. I'm America, very kitty, Papa, Paresa, I don't you get by your secret, I'm a pie. Sisi, play. We are in a Gogo, Yali. I didn't find your air for a problem. Hey, yeah. Gogo, Yali. Oh, Papa, this is your I am very Papa. Papa, this is your why, I know you are for a problem. I'm in a Godonyani. No, so my dog don't play. I'm hello. I did what I get, what's I get, what I get. I'm my body. Yeah, man. I'm my body. I'm my body. I'm going to buy you. I'm going to look at my Papa. I